One of the biggest changes made in college football 27 on the defensive side of the ball is all the different things we can do before we even hop into a game. Now, if you're a big dumb like I am and always forgot to change our coach settings for RPOs and option read keys, great news for you. We can do all of that from the main menu now and not have to worry about it ever again. I forgot just about every single time. So in this one, we're going to go over how we set all those up, how I'm going to set them up, as well as touch a little bit on the macros that I'm going to be setting on the defensive side of things, and just kind of a quick update on how they changed all the quick adjustments and things on defense. So to get us started, those coaching adjustments. Now, thankfully, we can just go down to our settings here, game settings, and all the way over on the right, we're going to see coach adjustments. This is such a quality of life update for me as somebody who just never did this before. So here's how I'm going to have them set. I am going to start with untarget user defender off. I could go both ways on that, but I mainly play Road to College Football Playoff. We don't really have to untarget the user defender a whole heck of a lot. And we play more people that user defensive tackles than we do linebackers, so I don't want to be untargeting those guys. We're going to keep that off. Most of this we just left untouched until we get down to here. So gap integrity, defender aggression, I'm just going to leave on balanced for now. That might be something we change in the future, but I kind of want to see how the defense plays with these just on balance before we end up making any decisions there. But option read key, pitch key, RPO read, RPO pass, thank goodness we can just get these set how we like and never have to worry about it. So we do read key conservative, pitch key aggressive, RPOs conservative. Now, will these keys actually work? That's to be determined. They didn't seem to do great last year, so I guess we'll all find out together. I'm probably finding out right now as this video comes out. We are live over on Twitch, twitch.tv/oldmantrying28 as we start our campus tour series. We're going to go through and get a win with every single team in college football 27 road to the college football playoff. Come check it out. Hope to see you over there. So this stuff, we're not changing any of this. All for like ultimate team and for dynasties, if you have fast enough safeties, of course you can do like close and pinch on these kind of things. Not for me, not for us using all these bad teams. We're just going to leave these all on default. Now, coverage strategy. This I'm sure somebody's made an 2-hour long video on all of this stuff. It kind of goes over my head a little bit, but I will tell you how we got all of these kind of things set. So we're leaving most of this on default. Roll coverage, I thought about doing pass strength. I thought about maybe doing fastest receiver, but I'm just gonna keep it on default because then it only kicks in on defensive plays that say roll. Like there's a roll cover 3 cloud, for example. Zone drops, we're leaving all those on default. Those are going to be something we do with our macros. So as it stands, we're going to leave this on default because if we want to call match coverage, we don't have to worry about it being canceled out by our zone drops. We're going to leave all these on default. Now, man coverage, I don't really run much man, so we're keeping these on default. And this is where they lose me a little bit, but we did some testing on the beta, and these are the settings I like the best. So cover 3 match, I liked skinny. The corners follow deep. The seam goes on the number 2 out/vertical. Hooks match on the number 3 out/vertical. Shout out to Boater who just showed up online. But for cover 3, we're going to have that for bunch and for trips. And if you're curious, skinny Meg just means man everywhere he goes. So on that solo side, he is going to be just essentially manned up on that solo side wide receiver. I don't love that because then that's taking a deep third down and essentially out of the play. So I think I like skinny a little bit better for that. Now on cover 4 stack, I'm just keeping on default because I don't really know what we want to do against that. But bunch, I do like bingo. I did some testing against flood plays in the beta, and I think bingo seemed to play him a little bit better, so we're going with that. So it's box in the corner, locks onto the number 1, which is the outside most wide receiver if he stays outside. We're going to go ahead and go with that. Trips, we're just going to keep that one on default for now. Now with the 1 rec, we are going solo cut on both of these. Now solo cut I like because of that wide receiver on the solo side. If he's breaking sharp in, a safety is going to actually be the one to pick him up, and then our outside corner is still going to be able to go back. I like that a little bit better just personally. Again, this is stuff we might change. This is stuff That's all just kind of in the works. I never call palms, so I'm just keeping all those on default. And then for cover 6, we're going bingo against a bunch again, just like with the cover 4. And against trips, we're going stubby. So the outside corner is going to lock on the number 1. The nickel, safety, and linebacker share the 2 and 3. The nickel's going to jump the out route. If they both go deep, then the nickel is going to take the number 2, which would be the middle guy in a trip set. 1 is on the outside, 2 is in the middle, 3 is closest to the offensive line. Then the safety will take the number 3. So we're going to go ahead. That's how we're going to start off with our match adjustments. I do think we're going to be calling more matches here. So that's what we're going to do. That's coach adjustments that are going to be set heading into every single game. Don't even have to sweat it, thankfully. Now, the next part of this is going to be go to create and share in custom adjustments. And this is where we can set up our macros. For now, I've only got one set up for cover 3 cloud and for cover 6 where we want to actually make it into a zone coverage. So I think for defense, macros are going to make a lot of sense, because if we're just coming out in a nickel set, no matter what team we're using, no matter what defensive playbook we're using, we'll be able to use these same macros. Versus offense, it's going to be much more playbook specific, I think, and kind of goes against the whole heart of the campus tour series. If no matter what playbook we're using, we just come out in trips and have a macro set to run the same kind of plays out of trips, kind of goes against the whole thing. So I don't want to do them for offense. For defense though, I think we're okay with it. So for cover 3 cloud, we're not even doing a ton, but it's still going to be so much easier than going through and doing the individual adjustments every single time. So a lot of these we're just leaving as is until we get some defensive line things. Contain on both sides. I love doing QB contains. Everybody just loves to run around like a chicken with their head cut off in that backfield. So we're going to have contains on this macro. We are going to leave all that just kind of as default. And then defensive line, we are also going to have them doing a left tom 2-man stunt. So those are 2 D tackles running a stunt right up the middle. Outside of that, we are changing some zone drops. We're not doing it in coach adjustments. We're doing it with our macros, because if we want to come out, cover 6 would be a better example of this. But if we want to come out in cover 6 and keep match, then we don't have to do anything. But if we want to come out in cover 6 and change it to a zone coverage, we can do that with a macro, but at least it gives us that flexibility of still running match if we want to. So I know we had a couple other changes down here too. Ball hawk aggressive, that's our default, so I don't even need to have that one on. But zone drops are going to be set on 10 for flats. And down, if we go a little bit further, I mean, we could, considering cover 3 cloud, it has the blue zone on one side, a cloud flat, has a curl flat on the other side. You could just do a 10-yard curl here if you wanted as well. Or what we end up doing is down here, we tell them, take that slot corner who's on the curl flat. Once we get down here, there's 1,000 things. It's crazy how in-depth this goes. You can change your match rules and everything if you would like. But down here, we tell them, take that slot corner, actually just put them on a hard flat. We already have that set to 10. You could either set your curl to 10 or just change your slot corner to a hard flat. So this is how it's going to work across every nickel set. It's your 4 down linemen, your 2 sub linebackers, 1 nickel corner, outside corners, safeties, obviously. So we have 1 slot corner. Now, no matter what nickel we're coming out in, if we're calling it cover 3 cloud, well, it works for any play if you really wanted it to. But it's going to take that slot corner, put them on a hard flat, put them on a 10-yard flat, as well as our outside corner there as well. So for dime sets, you can do your slot corner too. You can do your free safety, strong safeties. We'll get a little more aggressive with how we're going to set up some of these macros, especially if we're in like a 4-2-5 and want to set up a cover 3 out of a cover 2, things like that. Not going to worry about that right this second. Let's just start simple, see how it works, and get into it. So that's how we're going to set up cover 3 cloud. Let's head into practice mode and see how it all works. Let's take a look here. So we'll just go to nickel over. We'll find a cover 3 cloud. We'll just call it default. For now, we'll put them in a random offense. We can see just a nice standard cover 3 cloud here. Then if we hit LB or L1, that is going to bring up our macro adjustment. Hit A. Now we have our setup. We've got our stunt going down the middle there between our 2D tackles. We've got our contains up there, got our hard flat, our cloud flat, both set to 10 yards. And we did have our hooks set to 5. I don't remember if I said that or not. So it's kind of like doing those zone drops from coaching adjustments, but still giving us the flexibility to run some match coverage if we want to. If we wanted to audible into a cover 6 from this, since we don't have them set just universally, we would be able to and still run match out of here. So, and also Fresno State has a linebacker named Thunderbird, which is pretty freaking sweet. We got 5-yard hooks on. We're just watching kind of over the middle of the field. There's a 10-yard flat going over there. Getting himself a good knockout. So that's how we do it. If you call it your play already, you can do it from the line of scrimmage, or you can do it from the play call menu. Just hold down Y on cover 3 cloud. That's going to bring up your macros and your stunts all in one. But since we already have a stunt built in, we don't have to worry about that. We can just highlight cover 3 cloud and move it on from there. And there we go. Now we are all set. Now we are ready to go. Then with cover 6, that's our other macro we have set. I'm almost always a zone coverage guy, you know, so I'm going to set some for cover 2, 3, 4, 6, and 9 for the most part, and be able to keep match and do our different things that we would like. So cover 6, again, if we just call this default, which is probably what I'm going to do, so we would just keep this default, and if we want to, we just got match coverage. We're just set up, we're just ready to go. Or you can do L1 and then do our cover 6 one. It's gonna look very similar to how we have the cover 3 one set up. Where our slot corners now on our hard flat, our outside corners on a 10-yard light blue, a soft squat in this instance. And then we got our 5-yard hooks, our stunt, and our contain all done, all ready to go. Really like it. I'm really liking the idea. We're going to have to mess around with the actual macros a little bit more just to see what we actually end up liking. Oh man, my switch stick's rusty. Oh boy, that could be a problem here tonight. But then something like this, if we want to, you know, we can just keep match against a 5 wide. Vert hook, we got to watch number 7 here. Big boy defensive end, good work. So just one click of the button, we can change our cover 6 from a match to a non-match, which is super, super handy. So elsewhere, our other adjustments here, what kind of changed, what kind of moved. If we did want to adjust our defensive line or our linebackers, that is now all done with the right stick. Flick it to the left, brings up your defensive line adjustments. Flick it to the right, brings up your linebacker adjustments. What really tripped me up in the beta was how you can shade underneath. Typically, this was how we would turn off match. In College Football 26, you'd set drops if you wanted to, and you would just shade underneath. It used to be Y and down on the left stick, not anymore. Now Y brings up all of this. If you want to individually adjust a player, now you just have to hit Y. You don't have to double tap, was it left on the D-pad to bring up individual defensive linemen, right to bring up individual linebackers. Now it is all done over by hitting the one button, just hitting Y. Now you can grab your slot corner, do whatever you want, put him on a seam flat, all that good stuff. Want a QB spy on a defensive tackle? A pretty good strategy to do. Go ahead, hit Y. Up or down would grab one of your D tackles up there, then still left on the right stick. That always trips me up for a second. Then bang, there you go. Now you got a QB spy over there. Contains are still the same, R1, then L1. We're gonna bring your contains in there. But back to what I was saying that started this whole thing before I got distracted. Shading underneath. Now you can do all of that by holding left trigger or L2. You can back everybody up, press, put them inside, put them outside, shade them over the top, route commit inside, or probably not actually route commit, but commit inside, commit outside, or shade underneath, all from the left trigger. I'll tell you one thing, I definitely did not spend an entire half playing a game in the beta thinking they took shading underneath out. Couldn't be me. Couldn't possibly have been me. Now the other adjustments you got over here for global is the aggressive, ultra aggressive, conservative, ultra conservative. So that's going to dictate how your zones play. The more aggressive they are, the more they're going to jump routes, the more they're going to take away underneath routes, but leave you potentially vulnerable deep over the field. Again, that's something we'll have to mess around with, see what we like to do, but first thought is we're just going to kind of leave that default. I'm not going to mess around with that a whole heck of a lot. And then you can do L1 for everybody to play the sticks here again too. But even with that, we set those adjustments, but you can easily reset just by doing that macro again. Hit L1, set the cover 6, bang. We're all in a drop zone coverage here with the stunts, with the contains, with everything like that. So I got to set them up for the other ones, but for defense, I do think this is something you can do no matter what playbook you end up being in. As long as you're running formations with the same personnel on the field, this should all work pretty much the same, whether you're in nickel over or a nickel 2-4. I do kind of want to try it actually. Let's see if we have Let's do a cover 6 out of single mug and see if that's going to go any different for us. So let's go ahead, call cover 6, put them in random play, and we can see we're single mug, cover 6. If we do our macro adjustment, now it's going to be the same, but we don't have that defensive tackle stunt available to us in that formation, so they are just going to be rushing pretty normal, but we still have our contains, we still have our 10-yard flats, we still have our 5-yard hooks, both in nickel over, both in nickel, whatever that was, single mug, just because we have that same personnel on the field. So this is something we'll be able to use no matter what team we end up taking. But I think that's all we really had to cover here. Now, you can make some adjustments here actually in the game too. Click in the right stick, just like with the coach adjustments last year. If there's something you're not really liking, you can't change your macros from here, but you can change what your defaults are for the other plays. With the coverage strategy and then the coverage checks for man, cover 3, cover 4, cover 6, and set your wear and tear, which is something I have never done, never mess with in my life. So we just leave that kind of as is. But we do see if we go down here, all of these are set from us having them set in the settings there at the very beginning. So great quality of life improvements there, makes it much easier for us to set those adjustments. Don't have to worry about setting these every single time. Overall, thumbs up for me so far. We haven't played a game yet, but from what we're seeing in College Football 27, I have certainly been a fan. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little defensive overview, I guess we can call it. We'll be back tomorrow looking at 2 Service Academy playbooks, the Army and Navy, seeing what changed in those on the 4th of July, Saturday. Salute to our boys. We'll go with the Air Force Academy. Then on Sunday, 2 personal favorite playbooks of mine that stood out. One being the Wolverines with a lot of their Utah influence they got. And then I'm thinking Missouri, because that is kind of leading the race right now for what playbook we're going to use to start our online dynasty. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you guys then. Until then, take it easy.